Drum roll. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marcy. Thank you for clicking on that thumbnail. Always showing up, showing your girl some love. We have something very special. I guess I would consider it special because my coins were special that I spent, and something that I wasn't too inspired to do because I wasn't too fond of the fragrance, but I had to do it. I have to give it to you guys, and I have to give it to you straight and the truth. So I finally picked up the fragrance and these samples. There's 6 samples as well that I am going to be discussing, and this is the house of EBK. Everybody loves, well, most people love EBK. I know I've talked about this fragrance before in my Troublesome video, and then I talked about it in a haul, and you all know that, I got a little bit of an issue with EBK, but, I'm working on it, y'all. I'm really working on it, and hopefully we can get through these samples. I'm going to go in and not be too judgmental, about the whole situation of me, not taking a liking too much to the fragrances. Now let's take that back. I do like the fragrances, and I really like one of the samples, but I don't love them. So you all know that I really want to keep fragrances that I absolutely love in my collection. And other than that, they gotta go. So if you are interested in the House of EBK, please continue to watch, follow on Instagram, subscribe, turn on those notification bells so that every time I do upload a video, you can give me your feedback, comment, recommendation, or whatever else you want to talk about for the day. Follow me on Instagram, y'all. It's Marcelina Teresa or Marshmallow. Now, EBK is like a super secretive society of perfume, okay? So you have to email, you can follow them on Instagram, DM them on Instagram, then you have to email them, then they'll send you a list of things, or you can let them know. They're very, very personable, and I do appreciate the time spent and the communication with EBK. Like, they're amazing in that sense. And I know that most people love their Deep in Desire and their Ruby and Vanilla Intense. Those are like the 2 most talked about fragrances here over on YouTube and on Instagram, especially Ruby and Vanilla Intense. So you already know I purchased a full bottle of Ruby and Vanilla Intense, and it's a very striking fragrance. It's a very I would say, for me, it's a little cloying, it's a little alluring, it's sexy to say the least, but the fragrance is like beast mode and in your face, and just, let's get into it, okay? So the bottle is stunning, the packaging, like all of that. Absolutely love the presentation. I really like the scent. It was gorgeous presentation. The shipping was timely. The customer service was amazing. All of that. Like I said, you have to DM them, then they'll email you, then you'll put your credit card information in, all that. So the only reason why I pretty much trusted this company is because other people have used it that I trust in over on Instagram and on YouTube. So I was pretty sure that I was going to get my product, even though it seemed a little sketchy and fishy in the beginning. But you know what? I was like, Rico got his, Greta got hers, Chris got hers, and I think Emmy got hers. So, hopefully I'll be able to get mine as well. Slid on my credit card in the DMs or the email, and boom, I have my product in about a couple weeks. So that was amazing, okay? So let's get into the notes of Ruby and Vanilla Intense. Now, Ruby and Vanilla Intense, there's Vanilla Absolute, there's Bergamot, which I really get a lot of. There's Patchouli, Guaiac Wood, Sicilian Mandarin, Ambergris, and Almond. Now, when I spray this fragrance, like, y'all, you only really need about 1 or 2 sprays of this fragrance, at a distance on your clothes, and then it's a wrap. Unless you want to, this fragrance will last you an entire lifetime. You can actually, if somebody doesn't want the bottle, you can actually, buy this fragrance and probably distribute it amongst 4 people, and you will definitely save money and just a lot of fragrance, because like, who's gonna wear all this? Because it's so beast mode that you only need like 2 sprays. So, you'll have it for a lifetime. and more, okay? 3 lifetimes, all right? So this fragrance, I want to spray it, but then again, I don't, because when I tell you every single time I wear this fragrance, I have to scrub it off my skin. Literally have to get in the shower and scrub it off my skin. Even when I spray it as a tester on my skin, I scrubbed it off with soap and water and it was still there, okay? So this is probably, aside from Oud for Greatness by the House of Initio, this one here, maybe Portrait of a Lady, and there's another one that's pretty beast mode too. Those fragrances, when I tell you they are amazing in performance and they are beast mode, they're stunning, and you literally have to scrub them off your skin. I think I have Sundowners too. That one is pretty beast mode as well, but these fragrances will last like ages. So anyway, this fragrance here, now, you guys already know how I feel. Like, I love it from the bottle, you know? Absolutely love it from the bottle. If I do decide to wear this fragrance, I'm only spraying it one time. You do get a really beautiful vanilla absolute. The bergamot is so striking and so just in your face, a little cloying because it's so bright and strong, you know? You do get a little bit of that almondy scent. You get the guaiac wood, the woodiness in the dry down. In the opening, you get some woodiness as well, but you get it more in the dry down. Now, this fragrance to me is pretty linear. It smells slightly more woody in the dry down, but for the most part, what I spray in the opening is what I get. In the dry down, it is very tolerable. In the opening, I am just like, oh my goodness, this is so much and it's so in your face. But in the dry down, I really, really like it. But can I wait until the dry down? Like I said, if I do wear this, I am only spraying it one time, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to smell this fragrance for the next, 12 to 15 hours with that one spray on clothing, and that is like sprayed at a distance, y'all. But overall, it is a really pretty scent. It is really beautiful. It is different. It is unlike anything I have in my collection. And on that note, I really like it, but I really like it more in the dry down. I'm still contemplating on keeping this. Maybe I'll share it. Maybe I'll, decant it out because, like, I don't need this much, it's way too much. I kind of wish I would have gotten the smaller bottle or like the travel sizes, the 10 mLs, instead of this huge bottle right here. But it is really pretty. If you love vanilla, if you love bergamot, if you love woodiness, if you love beast mode, but you gotta love bergamot. You gotta love a really citrusy vanilla to love this fragrance. I can't really give you anything that it's similar to, because I was going to say Note Vanille, but Note Vanille is a little more vanilla-y. It's boozy. It's very boozy. This is not a boozy fragrance. But yeah, y'all, this stands alone, y'all. EBK, Ruby and Vanilla Intense. Now, let's get on to the next ones. Now, the other one that most people talk about is, and this is a sample. I have 6 samples. This is Deep and Desire. You're not going to be able to read that, so just trust that it's Deep and Desire. So for me, this smelled like another fragrance. I'll go ahead and spray this one because, just to give me a better scent memory of what this other fragrance smelled like. I'm going to be spraying it, testing it on my skin. I really don't like testing fragrances on paper because it doesn't give you a true scent as to what it smells like, especially when it comes to the chemistry of you wearing it. And when I wear my fragrances, I spray the majority of the fragrance on my skin, and of course I spray it on my clothing as well. But let's go ahead and spray this Deep and Desire on my skin. This is the one that comes in the blue bottle. So let's go ahead and spray it on this finger. Oops. Sorry, y'all. Sprayed it on the, oh, there we go. You know, they give you a decent amount. I think this is about 1.5 or 2 mLs. Now, all of these 6 samples, they did come with the actual bottle. So these were all complimentary. So I do appreciate all of the samples. I mean, it's totally worth it because you can get about maybe 3 wears out of this. So in Deep in Desire, I'm going to actually spray more of this on. Atomizer. So, compared to Ruby and Vanilla Intense, do I like Deep in Desire more? Yes, I do, you know? So, but I still will not purchase a full bottle, but it is less in your face and less cloying than Ruby and Vanilla Intense. Now, I'm getting a very strong oud in Deep in Desire. So in this fragrance, you have in the top notes, you actually have guaiac wood, you have frankincense, you have bourbon vanilla. Actually, no, let's take that back. That's another one, y'all. In Deep in Desire, is this Deep in Desire? No, you guys. Sorry, wrong, okay? Correction. This one is Ruby. Let me make sure. I don't have glasses on, and it's about time that I start to get me some glasses because it's getting to that point. So let's backtrack, okay? Rewind. All right, this is Ruby and Vanilla Oud. No wonder I got oud in the opening. So this is Ruby and Vanilla Oud. Correction, y'all. Forgive me for that, okay? So Ruby and Vanilla Oud, I'll be sure. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, Ruby and Vanilla Oud. There we go. So yeah. All right. Forget about what I said earlier. So Ruby and Vanilla Oud. So in Ruby and Vanilla Oud, when I initially sprayed it, it almost got like bacon grease, you know? But it's the oud in here that's giving me that little animalic scent. But in the opening, you have oud, okay? You have guaiac wood, frankincense, bourbon vanilla. You have some more oud. You have ambergris, powdery notes, damask rose, and black musk. So I'm definitely getting oud. I'm getting vanilla. It's musky. It's a little woody. You know, I'm still getting the DNA of Ruby and Vanilla, but it's not intense with some oud and a little bit of powderiness. Now, yes, I do like the Ruby and Vanilla Oud because it's a little more tamed than the actual Ruby and Vanilla Intense. I think it's the bergamot. There's no bergamot in the Ruby and Vanilla Oud from what I got online. Yeah, so it's not as like striking and cloying and in your face. So actually like this one a little more, but I still would not purchase a full bottle of this because the oud is a little too heavy for me in this fragrance. But I like it better than Ruby and Vanilla Intense. Yeah, I really wish I wouldn't have sprayed all this on my hand because I thought it was Deep in Desire. But I was like, wait a minute, something smells a little different because Deep in Desire smells like another fragrance. And that's why I had to pick it up again like, wait a minute, something's going on. So yeah, Ruby and Vanilla Oud. Very nice, very, very nice, you know, but the oud is a little too heavy for me. If you love vanilla, oud, a little bit of frankincense, it's not too spicy, but it's more vanilla, oud, woody, you know. And very oudy, y'all. Okay, so that is that. So the next one, let's get this right. The next one we're going to discuss is Deep and Desire. I don't know if you could see this, but I'm going to let you guys do it. See, Deep and Desire. Fire and Desire. Every time I say Deep and Desire, I think of that song. So Deep and Desire. So anyway, in Deep and Desire, let's spray it on this other. Yeah, let's spray it on my arm. Okay. I'm gonna be smelling like EBK all day, y'all. As long as it's not Ruby and Vanilla Intense, you know, one spray will do. So Deep and Desire. In Deep and Desire, And yes, like I'm already liking Deep in Desire. Now I really do like this one. I really like it. I don't love it, but I really like Deep in Desire. So in Deep in Desire, it's definitely like a spicy gourmand. So you got to be a gourmand lover to love Deep in Desire. And I do like this one better than Ruby and Vanilla Intense. And I like it better than Ruby and Vanilla Oud, okay? Yeah, Ruby and Vanilla Oud is wearing down. So in Deep in Desire, which is on my arm, you got your black grapes, you got your chamomile tea, you have some hazelnut, grapefruit, peeled, and you do have the bergamot. Now the bergamot is not as cloying and as bright and as striking as it is in Ruby and Vanilla Intense. So, y'all, you do get that hazelnutty smell. You get like maybe a black, did it say black grape or dark grape? Black grape. You definitely get those black grapes. You get a hazelnut, get a nutty smell, you know. It's nice, you know, but would I purchase a full bottle of this one? Absolutely not, because it's just not my cup of tea. Now, this reminds me of another fragrance. As a matter of fact, it's not my cup of tea, and it has chamomile tea inside. So this reminds me of another fragrance, but I'm absolutely head over heels for the other fragrance. The other fragrance is a little more refined. It's more sophisticated. It's more elegant. This one is a little, I don't want to call it, it's a little more abrasive, and it's not blended as well as One Umbrella for Two by the House of Floricu. That is what this fragrance reminds me of. One Umbrella for Two has like the black currant. It has some cedar in there. It has genmaicha tea in there as well. And that fragrance is stunning. Absolutely love it, but it's an amazing blend. It's juicy. It's, you know, very well rounded. You know, the tea in there smells very elegant, you know, and very just traditional. But this here, you know, it does smell like chamomile tea. You know, the chamomile tea and the Gucci, there's a Gucci fragrance that has a lot of chamomile tea inside. If you took that fragrance, Gucci Memoirs, that's what it smells like with black currant or black grapes. That is what this fragrance is giving me. And of course, a less upscale version or a not so upscale version of Floricu One Umbrella for Two. But if you mix Gucci Memoirs with a little bit of black currant and a little bit of cedar, you know, woodiness, you would definitely get this, because you definitely gonna get a good whiff of chamomile tea in this fragrance. But like I said, it's nice, but it's, for me, it's not full bottle worthy, but it's nice. And that's the one that comes in the blue bottle, Deep in Desire. So the next one we have is called Aquamarine N Powder. Now this fragrance, it states, was inspired by ethnic music in Greece, which, you know, hey, it sounds like it would be amazing, right? The music in Greece is amazing. The instruments are stunning. Like, absolutely love cultural things. So in here, so let's get this one right. Make sure we got the correct one. Another sample. So this is Aquamarine N Powder. So Aquamarine N Powder, there's lavender absolute. That's the top note, the first note, okay? There's some powdery notes, passion fruit, which I absolutely love, iris, which I am not a fan of. I do love orris, but I don't love irisy scents, the lipsticky smell. Orchid, pink pepper, musk, sandalwood. Now, those notes all sound amazing. So let's see what this fragrance smells like, y'all. Now, I do love lavender, you know. So let's go ahead and spray this here. This is the first impressions. I haven't smelled this one. Let that one cool down. I'm getting the iris off top, you know. I'm getting some C notes as well. Definitely getting the lavender. Okay. It's powdery. Lavender is already powdery, so they added powdery notes on top of the lavender in here. It's a little spicy. I think did I say pink pepper? Yeah, it's a little spicy. There's some passion fruit, orchid, pink pepper, musk, and sandalwood. Yeah, it's like a lavender musky, slightly irisy, powdery scent. It's giving me a little bit of kind of like some oceanic vibes as well in here, like some sea notes, you know, with the lavender. Very calming fragrance, you know. You get the powdery notes as well. Yeah, this one's actually pretty nice, y'all. You know? Yeah, I'm really smelling this Deep in Desire over here with this chamomile tea and the grapes, you know? In here, you know, that one's pretty good, y'all. It's pretty good. It's in the running, okay? The vanilla and oud, no, not for me, you know, but yeah. I kind of like this one. You get the pink pepper in here, you know, the lavender, the sea notes, getting a little bit of woodiness, a little bit of vanilla as well, you know. So anyway, this was actually pretty nice. Yeah, Aquamarine N Powder. Not bad. Very soft, not in your face, you know. Yeah, this is more of like I wouldn't say an event. This is a lounge around the house, more of a bedtime scent, more of a relaxing mood, meditating, you know, maybe running errands. Yeah, but this is more of an intimate scent. That's Aquamarine N Powder. So the next one we're going to get into is Ruby N Vanilla and Neroli, okay? So this is Ruby N Vanilla and Neroli. Let me make sure I got it right. Yes. I don't know if you can see it. Ruby N Vanilla and Neroli. There's Neroli at the bottom. All right, let's go ahead and spray this here. Spray it on my arm. So, I think I smelled this one. I did test this one. Now, let's go ahead and see what Ruby N Vanilla and Neroli smells like. Now, I'm getting that bergamot again. So you have your bergamot, you have your neroli, almond, you have your orange blossom, some powdery notes, vanilla absolute. You got a lot more notes in this one. You have your lavender, amber, woods, woody notes. You got some patchouli and some musk. Maybe the patchouli and the orange blossom will kind of like tone it down a little bit. So actually, this was not so bad, you know? This one is actually reminding me of the infamous Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy mixed with the Ruby N Vanilla. So if you want more of a tamed Ruby N Vanilla intense, then you need to try Ruby N Vanilla Neroli. The Neroli is not too sharp in here. The Neroli is actually stronger in Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy than it is in here. I actually like this one much better, you know? Yeah, you still get a little bit of that bergamot. You still get basically the same exact fragrance, but it's not so intense. And that orange blossom and the patchouli actually tames down the Ruby N Vanilla intense. You get some almond in here as well. Yeah, I kind of wish that I would have probably purchased this one, the Ruby N Vanilla and Ruby N Vanilla Neroli. I like this one much better. Now let's put them in order. So far, don't care too much for the Ruby N Vanilla Oud. You know, the oud is not my thing. It's a really good oud in here. You know, oud is not a bad fragrance, a bad scent. It's actually an amazing cultural, like ethnic scent, and you got to respect it, y'all. So people shouldn't be like, oud is stinky, oud is this, oud is that. You know, oud is very cultural. And it's very protected, you know, it should be respected, you know, all of that. Some people, I'm not a heavy oud person, but I would never say, oh, it stinks, it's this, it's that, because, you know, oud is definitely an amazing scent, and it's the way that it's harvested, the way that it's grown, you know, all of that. It's like, it's pretty much a mold that is grown from, we'll get into that later, but it's a tree mold or a bark mold that is grown, and it's a whole process, y'all. But no, the oud is not for me in here. So far, I like so far. So my number one at this point, because I am liking the Ruby N Vanilla Neroli. So I like Ruby N Vanilla Neroli. Then I like Deep in Desire. Then Then this Aquamarine N Powder is not bad. It smells a little vintage though, you know? Maybe it smells like this belongs to like a great grandmother. You know, I'm not gonna say grandmother because I'm a grandmother, okay? So maybe a great grandmother. And then Ruby and Vanilla Intense, and then this one would be like last, the Oud one. Okay, so we got two more. So yeah, so far I'm liking Ruby and Vanilla Neroli better than all of them. So the next one is Moonstone N Tuberose, okay? So this is Moonstone N Tuberose. I'm gonna go ahead and spray that on this finger. Love a good tuberose fragrance, you know. One of my favorites, a couple of my favorite tuberose fragrances, of course, Rouge Malachite. Y'all know I absolutely am head over heels. That's like my #1 tuberose fragrance. And I tasted that. Yeah, it's like all the way in my throat, y'all. So, and that is Moonstone N Tuberose. Yeah, that's in my throat. And that was like 2 sprays. I'm telling you, this house is heavy, okay? It's nice, but it almost smells like it's light. But I wouldn't purchase a full bottle of it because I really don't get a good, a nice tuberose in here. I'm getting some iris, that's for sure. Or musk, yeah. So in here it says that there's tuberose, absolute, musk, angelica flower. You're getting a little greenness, but I'm getting some iris, like a lipsticky, powdery scent. So yeah, do not like tuberose absolute. I do not like Moonstone N Tuberose. Yeah. Nah. So yeah. What is that tuberose? What does that smell like? If anything, it is close to, but of course, the other, no, it's not close to it. I'm not even gonna do the other fragrance like that. I was gonna say Tuberose Imperial, but no, Tuberose Imperial smells definitely a lot better. But it's decent. It smells vintage, you know? This Angelica flower or Angelica, yeah, Angelica flower. Tuberose is not too musky, but I get Angelica flower, powdery notes, iris, and tuberose. Yeah, smells very vintage. So anyway, last but not least is Alexandrite N Patchouli. So this is Alexandrite. Nope, picked up the wrong one. That's Moonstone Tuberose. So this one, this green one, is Alexandrite N Patchouli. Now I couldn't find the notes for this. And I don't remember them emailing me the notes for this one as well. So anyway, y'all, let's get into it. Let's, still loving that Ruby and Vanilla Neroli. That's like the best one so far, you know, and then Deep in Desire. So let's go ahead and spray that on this hand, on this finger. So this is Alexandrite N Patchouli. All right, 2 sprays. Ooh. No, and no. This is very green. Smelled a little masculine in the opening when I initially sprayed it. There's oud in here as well. Smells a little, it's giving me clean. Yeah, it's giving me like some freshness. It's giving me patchouli. Yeah, but this is like, it smells familiar. This is like almost smells like cleaner vibes and oud, you know? Like something really fresh. Maybe neroli, maybe some patchouli. Smells a little ambery. But yeah, so Alexandrite and Patchouli. Yeah, it's patchouli, of course. Alexandrite and Patchouli. Yeah, definitely not for me. This is very, very fresh. Yeah, it's nice, but no. Yeah, it's better than the Moonstone N Tuberose, that's for sure. So anyway, this video is getting a little bit long, y'all. So, anyway, I'll give you my best. I'm not going to say favorites because none of them are really my favorites to my least. So I would say my number one out of this entire house, 7 fragrances. I like the Ruby and Vanilla Neroli more. That one is actually giving me Ruby and Vanilla Intense with Killian Love Don't Be Shy, but the Orange Blossom and the Almond is kind of taming the fragrance now. There's not as much bergamot in there. The next, I love Deep in Desire, which is very gourmandish. I told you that reminds me of Floraiku, One Umbrella for Two. It has a really good tea note inside. Yeah. I really like that one. That has a really good tea note inside, but you don't need very many sprays on any of these. You know, they're super potent. Then the next one I would say I would like is Aquamarine N Powder. Then I would say Ruby and Vanilla Intense. Then I would go with Alexandrite N Patchouli. Then I would go with Moonstone N Tuberose. Then I would go with the EBK Ruby and Vanilla and Oud. Yeah, that Oud is heavy, y'all. So anyway, like I said, that Oud is giving me, you know, like bacon grease, like the remnants of bacon, like you're cooking bacon, but it's oudy. Yeah, so anyway, y'all, thank you for watching this review. If you were interested in the house at all of EBK, that is 7 fragrances. Like I said, for me, if you want to dig into this house and you love Ruby and Vanilla Intense, get a small bottle, but you also need to try Ruby and Vanilla Neroli, okay? Yeah, I like that one better. So, all right, have a nice day. Go out into the world, spread amazing sillage, do good, be good, all of that. And get you some EBK in your life, y'all. All right, bye-bye. Love you all.